Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm very excited because I'm going to be playing with some brand new products from MBA Cosmetics. Now for those who don't know, I do work for MBA Cosmetics and I do have an affiliate code with them. The code is agapelovegirl, all caps. That will get you 10% off. So if you're curious about any of these items or want to pick any of them up, you can use that code to save a little bit of money. But most of their products are very affordable and very reasonably priced in my opinion. And for those who may not have heard of MBA Cosmetics, you can check out my channel. I do have a playlist, I think, with a lot or all of the MBA Cosmetics videos I have made. I'll link that if you want to check out more of their products and learn more about the brand and things like that. But it is a small independent business. It is a woman-owned business that I am very proud to be working for, and I just love them so much, and I feel like they're so under the radar, a hidden gem that I just wish more people would discover. But anyways, I'm really excited because they recently came out with several new products, and I'm going to be testing a few things out today. I'll do kind of a look. I don't think it'll really be a tutorial. I think it's going to be very simple just because I want to test out some of the products. But let me just tell you a little bit about the products I'm going to be using today. So first up, let's talk about the palettes. They recently released two palettes, and I'm so excited because this is the first time they've really done actual palettes. They do have a huge variety of single shadows that you can purchase, and they have like eyeshadow bundles where they have the single shadows put together in bundles available pan only or in one of their palettes, but these are the first ones they've actually put together as a cohesive palette. So the first one here is the one I'm going to be using today. It is called Garden Party, and so it has like this beautiful decoration. Here's the front and the back. When you open it up, it does have this little insert to kind of protect the shadows, and you also have the shadows up here with the names, so you know what they are. Now this one I'm kind of the most excited about just because this is including some brand new matte shadows. Now MBA Cosmetics has had matte shadows for a long time, but they recently, or the owner, Sherry, recently reformulated her own matte formula, and so these are them. I know she has several more that will be launching. I'm not quite sure when, but these are the first of her brand new matte formula, and so I'm really excited for that. And so there are some new shades in here, but there also are a couple repeat shades that are available already on their website. And then additionally, something else new is they are going to be switching to this square pan packaging, because previously all their other shadows are in a round pan, but I do know that they are going to be switching to this square pan so that they will fit more perfectly in this palette. And now, even though this is a palette that is like meant to be as a, you know, it's a named palette and things like that, these pans are removable. So say you hit pan on one of these or finish one of them, you can remove it and then I'm sure eventually repurchase singles. Right now I don't think these are available. Some of these are available as singles, the ones that were currently pre-existing. But some of the newer ones are not available as singles yet, but I would imagine she will have them available as singles as well, so you will be able to pop them out and replace them, which I think is really cool. So this is a magnetic palette with single shadows placed in here. So I will be using that today because I want to show you guys how the mattes perform and things like that. But let me tell you real quick about the other palette that they launched. This is the Hippie Chic palette, so front and back. This also does open up with the, there's the insert you get with the shadows named here as well. Now this palette is filled with all shimmers. There's no mattes in this one. Now MBA Cosmetics Silk Effects shadow formula is one of my favorites. Some of the shadows can look very metallic. Others look more like a shimmery satin, so they're not all like crazy metallic, but they all have a really beautiful like pearly satiny formula, and they are just very creamy, beautiful. They lay down just so nicely. I just love their Silk Effects formula so much. I'm just going to swatch these real quick so you can see. Look at that. And I know these are finger swatches and you can't always tell the full story from finger swatches, but let me just tell you, these apply beautifully on the lid with a brush without the need of a setting spray to, you know, really get their pigmentation. They're just beautiful. So I can't recommend them enough. I'm actually not going to be playing with this palette today, but if you guys would like to see me do a look or tutorial with this palette on my channel, let me know, leave a comment, and I will be sure to do that. But I did play around with this palette and create an all shimmer look using no matte shades whatsoever, using this palette just kind of on my own time. I was having fun with it. I'll put some pictures up on the screen here so you guys can see the look I created. I really love the look that I came up with this palette. It's just so beautiful. So if you're really into, you know, a palette with shimmers, you don't need any more mattes, and you like colors, this would be a really great one to look into. It's so beautiful. Love it so much. Now these palettes, I don't think I said, but they're $20, which I think is a very reasonable price, and again, you can use my code for 10% off. Okay, next up, they recently released this Glow Dust Trio, which is this beautiful trio of highlighters that can also be used as eyeshadows. Now for this trio, it is $30 and you're getting all 3 shades with the compacts. They are magnetic compacts, so you can refill them, so these do come out. I did already use this shade, Glow Stick, this purple one. I used this in a video with the Juvia's Place Berries and Violets palette. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it, but these are absolutely stunning. Let me just go ahead and swatch these for you. They are so beautiful. Ooh, it's seriously, they're so pretty. They have such a bright like shift to them, which is what's going to make them like such a beautiful highlighter. But also they can be great like eyeshadow toppers if you want. Oh my god, look at that. If you want to create kind of like a duochrome effect, or if you just want like a spotlight eye, or you could just use them all over the lid if you want just a really pretty pop of color. Ooh, so pretty. Oh, I love fun highlighters. So the purple shade is called Glow Stick, the blue shade is called Glow Getter, and then the pink shade is called Glow Up. And then the last new items that is probably the most exciting thing are their new ChromaFlakes. These are multi-chrome eyeshadow flakes basically, and they have 15 shades, but I did pick out 9 shades to play around with. I decided not to really grab any of the more blue tone shades just because I don't tend to wear those colors, so I didn't want to just have them and have them go to waste, although I kind of feel like I should have because I want to swatch all these to show you guys the colors in action. But they do have beautiful photos on the website as well as on the Instagram page showing all of the shadows, so you kind of really, or the ChromaFlakes, so you can really see the shift of them. But stay tuned. I think towards the end of this video I am going to eye swatch all the shades that I have just so you guys can kind of see them live in action and how they look on the lid and things like that. But anyways, the ChromaFlakes, I think they're a really unique product. This will be the 3rd time trying them, so I still want to kind of play around with them to see what's going to be the best way to use them, and I'll probably update in a future like beauty replay video. But for right now I just want to show them to you because they're really exciting. But anyways, let me just tell you real quick, these are going to be at $12.95. Now what I think is really intriguing about the ChromaFlakes, aside from the fact that they are multi-chrome and just really beautiful and a very unique kind of product, but what I think is what a lot of people will probably appreciate about them is that they kind of give this very sparkly, very shiny, metallic look of almost like a glitter, but they're not glitter, so they are eye safe. They're soft, flaky flakes, you know, so they're not going to be harmful to the eye. Lord. Okay, that truly startled me. That was just my husband coming home and Lucy sounding her alarm to let me know. Okay, anyway, so what I was saying was that these are eye safe. Let me just go ahead and read what MBA Cosmetics says in the description. It says, these are approved for use in the eye area, but due to the larger flake size, we do recommend caution and care when using around the eyes. So while there are some that have like larger flakes, some of them have smaller flakes, and they kind of each apply a little bit differently. I've only tried 3 of them so far, and each of them kind of did apply a little bit differently. But yeah, some of them do have larger flakes, but it's not like they were like I personally didn't feel like I needed to use caution and like it was gonna harm my eyes, but it's nice that that warning is on the website for anybody who may be concerned. But these are soft and eye safe. They're not sharp or anything like a glitter. So if you're someone who maybe loves the look of glitter but doesn't like to use glitter on your eyes, these might be a really great option to use. But anyways, I have rambled enough talking about these products. Let's go ahead and get into demoing them. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start off by using the Garden palette first. I'm going to keep this very, very simple. I'm not going to use a ton of shadows and shades and things like that. And I think I'm really just going to stick the mattes because that's what I really want to showcase in today's video, since I've used the Silk Effect shadows in a variety of other videos on my channel. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start off first by priming my eyes with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. All right, and then taking a small blending brush, I'm going to go into the matte green shade called English Ivy, and I'm just going to be taking that to my kind of inner and outer corners and blending into my crease as well. Now with that shadow laid down, I'm just going to go ahead and go in with a clean, fluffier blending brush just to soften and diffuse that shadow upwards a little bit. Now something to note about these shadows is that they are pretty hard pressed. I know that's something that Sherry had talked to me about when she was working on her matte formula and trying to really make it right the way she wanted it, was she didn't want them to be too soft or create too much kick up, but she didn't want them to be too hard as well. And so she was kind of trying to decide whether she should make them softer but they'd have more kick up, or just a little bit more firmly pressed. And it seems that she went with a little bit more of a firmly pressed shadow, which means there is less kick up. So that's not a good or a bad thing in my opinion. I feel like it's fine as long as these shadows perform. Sometimes shadows, when they're such firm, hard pressed shadows, they are a little bit difficult to work with, but I find that these are very nice to work with. As you can see, the pigmentation is there, it builds up, it blends. It's a really lovely formula, but I know that there are a lot of indie brands where their matte shadows are just very, very soft, but they're beautiful and blend amazingly. These ones are a little bit more hard pressed in comparison, but they still build up and blend beautifully. So I just want to make a note of that in case anybody was curious. All right, with the eyeshadow blended out, I'm going to go right into one of the ChromaFlakes. So the shade I'm going to be going into is called Hydra. Now this one shifts from a green to a violet to a teal, which actually looks very similar to the nail polish I'm wearing today, which, if you were curious, is also by MBA Cosmetics. It is their multi-dimensional nail polish in the shade Infatuation. So it has the same shift, so I thought that'd be fun to put on my eyes, and I thought it would blend well with the green. So anyways, to start off, I'm actually going to go ahead and add a little bit more of that Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion to the center of my lids where I want to apply these ChromaFlakes. With these products, you definitely want to have some kind of sticky base for them to adhere to, whether it's a glitter glue or an eyeshadow primer, whatever you have on hand. I'm sure mostly anything will do just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that to my lids, and then after that I'm going to open up the ChromaFlakes. You want to be very, very careful. These don't have sifters, and if you open it too aggressively or breathe on them, they will kind of fly around because they are very light and airy. So you want to be very careful opening it up. I'm going to just dip my finger into it, and then I'm just going to go ahead and start pressing and smoothing them onto my eyelids right over top the eyeshadow primer that I placed down. Now, because you do want to have some kind of sticky base for them to stick to, I am just going to go ahead and do one eye at a time. After I lay down some of the eyeshadow primer potion, I'm going to tap it out with my finger. That way I do have a little bit of that eyeshadow primer on my finger to have my finger a little bit tacky to help pick up the flakes. And as you can see, there will be quite a bit of fallout. So for that reason, you will definitely want to do your eyes first. Okay, the shift of this is so cool and so pretty, and because these are flakes, it does create this really neat foiled flaky look on the lid. It's very, very pretty. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up how beautiful and multi-dimensional this shade is, but I'm gonna try my best to capture it. But anyways, as you can see, there's also a lot of fallout, so I will be cleaning that up. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my face off camera, and then I'll be right back. We're gonna use a couple more of the matte shades and then the highlighter shades, and then I'll show you the completed look, and then we'll go into eye swatches of all the ChromaFlakes that I have. All right, I am back. I just love the way everything comes together once you put the rest of your face on. Anyways, if you're noticing that this green shade looks a little bit cleaned up or soft or anything like that, I did use a little bit of foundation right here because I just felt like I didn't like the way it looked like with my bare skin there, which was a little bit weird anyways. And plus I did a little bit of cleanup when I did my brows, so it does look a little bit softer possibly, I'm not sure. But anyways, that's what I did. So now that I'm back and have the rest of my face on, I do want to use another one of the matte shades from this Garden Party palette. I'm going to go into the shade Woodland, which is a brown shade. I'm going to take that on a pencil brush and just run that on my lower lash line. Ooh, that is very pigmented. Definitely going to have to blend that out and soften it up. I'm kind of tempted to use the shade Geranium to blend that brown shade out, but I don't want it to kind of clash with what I got going on with the green. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna take a very small blending brush and go into the shade Geranium just kind of lightly and blend out the brown shade with it. See what happens. Oh, that's actually kind of pretty. I wasn't sure. I just really want to show more of these mattes to you guys. Alright, I really like the way that looks. It's very, very subtle, but at least you guys get to see a good variety of the mattes in use. They're very pigmented, very beautiful, blend beautifully. I'm very happy with the way this looks. And I don't know why I was so weird about adding that kind of pinky shade to this, because I'm going to go in with a pink anyways, although this is more of a warmer pink and this is going to be more of a cooler toned pink. Well, cooler tone, but it also has like a gold shift, so I don't know. Anyways, maybe it'll work. Anyway, so I'm crazy today. All right, so what I think I'm gonna do is use this shade, it's the shade Glow Up, and I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the inner corners of my eyes, and then I'm also gonna add it in the regular spots I would highlight on my face, because I actually did not highlight my face yet. And by the way, if you are curious about what is on the rest of my face, I'll link everything in the description box, but I'm just using products from my makeup basket this month. So if you're curious, you can check the description box, and I'll link my makeup basket too if you like those kind of videos. Ooh, that's really pretty. It definitely leans a lot more gold once you actually put it on, and I feel like it has a little bit of a green shift too. I'm not quite sure if it's just because I have green shadow on, but it almost looks like it has a little bit of a greenish gold tint to it. Ooh, that's interesting. It actually pulled a little bit more pink on the cheeks over top of my more pink blush, but so pretty. Definitely that gold does show through as well. This is such a beautiful highlighter. I love it. All right, I think that's gonna go ahead and do it for this look. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some lashes. I'll be using the Pure Cosmetics Bombshell lashes. I'm gonna apply those off camera and I'll be back to show you guys how everything looks close up. All right, so here's how everything is looking. Oh, this eye look I am in love with. That Chromaflake is such a stunning color. I have been on such a green kick for the longest time, but I just love how it's green but has this beautiful kind of violet purple shift, which I feel like has been so impossible to capture on camera, but hopefully you guys can kind of get a glimpse of how it looks. Oh, so beautiful. I'm so happy with the way this looks, and I'm so glad I got to show you so many of these new MBA Cosmetics products in action. Now, for anybody curious, on my lips, I decided to put on a nude lip to pair with this look, and I'm wearing the City Lips matte liquid lipstick in the shade Pink Taupe, and I think it pairs really well with this look. But anyways, this is the completed look. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of these products. Do you think you'll pick anything up? Let me know. But anyways, now with the demo and a look complete, let's go ahead and move on into the eye swatches of the ChromaFlakes that I have. Hey beauty babes, okay, so it is a whole new day for the swatches of these ChromaFlakes, and I know I'm looking all kinds of fabulous today, but that's just because I knew I'd probably make a little bit of a mess. I didn't really want to have to, you know, deal with the rest of my face or anything like that. I'm mostly going to be zoomed in real close so you can see them better, closer up in my eyes, but I just want to let you know what I'm going to be doing each time I do a swatch, just in case you were curious. So I am going to go ahead and put a little bit of concealer over my eyes just because I do have dark circles, so I'd like to kind of blank them out so you kind of get a true representation of what the color is. I do just want to mention that these, because they are kind of multi-chrome, multi-dimensional, they do kind of color adjust or will look a little bit different if you're putting them on top of other colored eyeshadows and things like that. So keep that in mind, but I just wanted to show you what they look like over, like, you know, a flesh tone, my flesh tone-ish. So I'm going to have some concealer down so it's a blank canvas and not over top of this lovely brown shade that I have on my eyelids naturally. After that, I will also be using my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, just because these flakes do need some kind of sticky base to adhere to. And then I'm just going to be applying them with my finger. Secondly, I want to let you know that I'm going to try to place colors that are similar side by side. So I'm going to do one swatch on this side, another on this side. I'm going to try to do them similar-ish, with the exception of the very first two I'm going to use. So anyways, they look kind of similar, but not as much as the other ones. Just so I want you to be able to see them side by side so you know the difference between colors that look similar. But anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first one I'm going to start off with is Hydra, since that's the one I used for my demo, and that's the one you guys will have just seen how it looks, especially over top of a green shadow. So now you're going to be able to see how it looks kind of true to color without any other shadow underneath it. But this one's described as a vibrant green that shifts to violet and teal. One thing I'm noticing right off the bat is how much more sheer it actually looks over top, just kind of like a flesh tone. I definitely think if you want these to have a little bit more intense pigmentation, having some kind of color underneath definitely helped. Having that green, I feel like, enhanced the color of it, but still really pretty, and I think you could really see the shift of it. Oh, it's so, so pretty. Oh, I'm excited to try out the rest of them. Next up, I'm going to be showing you Spirit Magic. This one is really, really pretty, and I'm having a really hard time capturing it on camera for you guys, but it's described as a pinkish magenta that shifts to a copper purple. And like the copper, I can see when I look down at it, but as I'm trying to put it into the camera, it's really hard for that copper to show, but it does have a really gorgeous shift to it. Hopefully you guys can see it once it's on my eyes. Alright, something I'm noticing with this is it's a lot more flake, like it has bigger flakes to it. Also, as I'm laying this down, I feel like as I'm tapping it in, it's almost like losing its color and turning almost this like steel color. I'm tapping some more on top here now, just so we can see if I could actually grab some more of the purpley color. And that seems to be working a little bit better, but I feel like it kind of like left this base of a very steel or metal-like color. And not much of the actual purple coppery multi-chrome effect is showing as much. So I don't feel like I like this shade as much. It's definitely not as pretty on the eye as it is in the jar, but maybe it'll look different on top of like a purple eyeshadow or a burgundy eyeshadow or something like that. But I feel like on its own it's a little bit, it kind of loses the pretty color. It could be because of the sticky base, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, this is one that I would say I don't like as much. I don't like the thicker flakes as much. Definitely doesn't look as smooth as the Hydra side, and as you can see, I made a little bit bigger of a mess, which I knew I was gonna make a mess anyways. That's why I didn't want to worry about the rest of my face, and I just came on like this. With these flakes, that's kind of one of the downsides. It's gonna be a little bit messy. You have to be prepared for that. So anyways, I'm gonna wipe this off. We're gonna move on to the next two swatches. All right, next up I'm gonna try Utopia, and this one says it shifts from a golden green to pink to bronze to gold. Sounds fascinating. Okay, this is really, really pretty. This one definitely has a little bit of a medium-sized flake, not as chunky as the last one I used, but not as small as the first shade Hydra. I like the way this looks, really, really pretty. Love the shift. I feel like you can see the shift within the flakes quite a bit. So, so pretty. Definitely picking up a lot more of a green and then spots of like purpley pink. Really, really pretty. And then I'm going to be using Sublime. Sublime shifts from a bright gold to bright green to a subtle copper orange, which again sounds very similar to Utopia, so let's see. Ooh, okay, this one is seriously so, so pretty. So in the jars, as I'm looking at them, they look very, very similar in the jar, but on the eyes, they definitely look quite different. I think I like the way this one looks a little bit better. Sublime, it's just, I like the brighter green. I like how you see a little bit more of a yellowy green. It's super, super pretty. Very cool. Love how bright it is. I feel like the chunkiness or the flakiness is about the same as the side with Utopia. Maybe just a little bit finer, went on a little bit easier, but definitely very messy. Like, it's all over my face. It's all over my sweater. That's definitely the downside about using these flakes, is that they are so light and airy. They just kind of like go everywhere, so you have to be careful. And I wish there was a better way to apply than just with your finger, because for one, it makes it so they are kind of messier and fly everywhere. Also, you can't get very precise. I mean, I am purposely kind of being a little bit messy. I'm trying to get the flakes all over the majority of my lid. I'm not worried about precision right now just because I want to show you them. But I know that if you want a precise look, you're probably not really going to be able to achieve that with these. So that's the one downside about this that I don't like, and I wish they performed better with a brush, but it is what it is. So I'm just letting you guys know. This one is super, super beautiful though. All right, next up I'm going to be trying Quasar, at least I hope that's how it's pronounced. This one I have tried before. This one is quite a bit flakier if I'm remembering. This one's described as a brilliant gold that shifts from copper to green. And what's interesting about this is that I did try it over top like a burgundy shadow, and it really kind of adjusted with that burgundy color and looked a lot more burgundy. So that's what I mean when I've said earlier that they'll kind of adjust to whatever you have underneath them, but you'll be able to see the true color here. Ooh, this shade's really, really pretty. I feel like it does have this really pretty like pinky red reflect. It's so, so cool. And I feel like that red, like I said, is what really picked up and reflect when I put it over a burgundy eyeshadow. Really, really pretty. It almost looks kind of like neon, or like it's like some like live fire on my eye or something. It's so cool looking. Now for my next eye, I'm going to be applying Blazing Embers. This one is described as a burgundy pink that shifts from copper to bronze to gold. So it sounds gorgeous. Can't wait to give it a shot. Okay, interestingly enough, I think this is another one that has a little bit more of like a steely gray base or something. They have this one, and what was that first one I used? Spirit Magic, I think, that just has a little bit of like, there's some kind of base color to it that like shows up when you're applying it, and the multi-chrome effect doesn't show as much. It just looks more like a grungy, steely gray, so it's not as pretty, which is kind of disappointing. So this is again another shade that unfortunately I don't like as much. I don't feel like it shows up as well. I wonder how to look under other colors, but like this, not my favorite. Also, it's so interesting how similar-ish these shades could kind of look in the jars, but definitely apply wildly different once on the lid or on the skin and things like that. So I'm really glad that I kind of paired similar shades side by side so we could really see a true difference, and you guys can decide which shades you like best, and it's helping me decide as well. Alright, up next I'm going to be trying Port Royal, which looks so, so beautiful. I kind of have a feeling this one will be one of my favorites. I love how green it looks, but we shall see how it looks in the eyes. Anyways, this one says it shifts from golden green to teal to bronze. Looks beautiful. Let's see how it applies. Okay, this one has some pretty good flake sizes. I mean, like the sizing was good. It wasn't as messy as some of the other shades I put on. I really like the color. I don't feel like this one is as multi-dimensional. There is some dimension to it, but not as dimensional as some of the other shades, but I do love the color. It's so, so pretty. I've been such a sucker for greens lately. I've been saying this for months and months and months, but I'm not over it yet. This is really pretty. I love the way it applied. Super, super pretty. Alright, and then I'm going to be trying Coventina, which is another beautiful green shade, but this one has a little bit, it looks a lot more blue. So this one says it shifts from a vibrant green to a golden green to a teal to a blue. Okay, I'm actually surprised that I like this one more than I thought I would. I mean, I knew I would like it because it's green, but with the blue twist in there, I wasn't sure if I would like it as much. But I'm on the fence. I kind of like both of these almost evenly. Really, really beautiful. The blue shift to it isn't as like crazy blue, because you guys know I'm not a fan of blues. So like that it's like still such a green that shows through with a little hint of blue, I think is so, so pretty. So I really like this one. Definitely made a little bit more of a mess with this one, but I don't think it was due to the flakes being the size that I feel like is not unmanageable, but harder to work with. I think I just kind of made a mess with it. So anyways, love both of these shades. All right, I'm down to the very last Chromaflake that I have to share with you guys. I don't know why I didn't just pick out 10 shades. 9 is so random, but that's what I did. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to be trying this, and just for the sake of trying one other product in my other eye, I'm going to go ahead and swatch the Glow Dust highlighter in the shade Glow Getter on this eye, just so you guys can see it, because it's the only one that I haven't really used on my face in a video yet on my channel. So we're going to go ahead and do that here too. So anyways, the last shade that I have of the ChromaFlakes is the shade Aurora Borealis. This one is an iridescent flake from what it looks like, but it's described as a translucent flake that shifts from green to pink to purple. Really, really pretty. Okay, so this one is one of the more, or probably maybe the most flaky. A lot of the other flakes, I will just say, is like when I put them onto my finger and then attach them to something like a sticky or wet base, they almost like, not dissolve, but kind of create this like melded foiled effect and kind of can blend a little bit. But the flakier ones don't do that as much. They stay looking very, very flaky, and this is one of them where it looks really, really flaky. But anyways, it's a very, very beautiful flake. I could tell in the viewfinder it's coming off of much more of that green iridescent look, but in person I'm getting a lot more of a pinky green. Like, I'm getting more of the shift here. I'm not quite sure how much you're gonna be able to see this on camera, but it's really, really beautiful. And this is one of the ones that I think is gonna look the most transformative under or over top of different shadows. So this is gonna really be able to amp up some kind of look and be a lot more you know, like I said, transformative depending on what's underneath it. It'll probably adhere to whatever's underneath and kind of adjust to that color just to make it pop a little bit more, but super, super pretty. Really, really like this one a lot. All right, and so for the highlighter side, I'm not gonna put down the primer just because I don't, usually with highlighters you don't put a primer, so I'm just gonna take a fluffy synthetic brush and just dip it in here and just start kind of sweeping it on. It's gonna be very, very sloppy. It's kind of the perfect one to match up with this ChromaFlake because it's a little bit more of that almost iridescent kind of look as well. So it's not as blue, it really has like kind of almost a lilac kind of color to it. I'm gonna try to just do it lightly up on my brow bone just so we can see how like it would look as like a light highlight. It's pretty. Alrighty guys, so that does it for the swatches of the ChromaFlakes that I have. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing them all kind of close up and a little bit more in live action. I'd love to know which ones you like the best. This definitely helped me decide which ones I like the best and see how they apply and things like that. I'm definitely gonna have to play around with them a lot more, see if I can find a better way to apply them, things like that. I will definitely be updating in a future beauty replay video, so you guys stay tuned if you want to hear more of my thoughts. But yeah, that's it for the swatches and this fabulous bare face. Alright beauty babes, that wraps it up for this video, testing out and letting you guys know all about some of the new products from MBA Cosmetics. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and seeing some of these products in action. If you guys have any questions about any of these products, anything that I may not have thought to include here, please don't hesitate to ask. I'd love to know what you guys think about these products. Let me know if you'd like to see any other videos or content created with these products. Anything specific you'd like to see, let me know. I want to be able to create that for you. But anyways, with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye beauty babes. Mwah!